So now I did. Okay. Now every time what we are doing, we are keeping key as a string. So now I don't want to keep string as a key. I want to create my own object as a key. So that string name integer age. So there is two fields is there inside the student. So I want to assign these two fields as part of constructor arguments. So how to create a constructor? Just right click, source, and generate constructor using these fields. So now I have created a class called student, and I declare two fields, and I can able to assign these two fields by using constructor, I mean two argument constructor. Okay. Now let me create an object for this class. How to create student s1 equal to new student, and I need to pass the name and age, right?
Yes.
So first student name I am passing student 1, and age I want to give as a 10. So one student object is ready, and I want to create two more objects, student s2, student s3, and let me give this student as a student 2 name also student 1 and age is 10, and let me give student 3 name as student 3 and age is 11. So s1 s2. So here we can able to see one similar thing, s1 and s2, student 1 and student 2 having same values but different object, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, student 1 and student 2 have both values, and student 3 have different values and different object. So now what I want to do, I want to create an object tree map, and I want to add these values as a key. So I created a tree map, and instead of first key I want to add s1, and I want to add value as a s1 value, and for second element I want to add s2. So I want to add s2, and the third element I want to add a s3. So three objects I created and three I added. So let me add here s3. This is clear, right? So instead of key, just I created my own objects and I'm trying to add. And here s1, s2 are duplicates, right?
Yes.
Did you see that s1 and s2 have same values? So now let me run it, and what I want to do, I want to override the toString method so that I can able to see the values. Otherwise it will display student at the rate of hexadecimal number, right? So for that purpose I am trying to override the toString method. So I have overridden the toString method. Now what I will do, let me run and let me see the values. How many values it will display. So now I don't want to use tree map. I want to use hash map. What is this? Yeah, hash map. So either for hash map or tree map or linked hash map, for everything key must be unique. So that is the main funda. Okay, now let me run it and we will see. So now let me see the result. So how many students object is there here? This is the first student, s3. After that s1. After that s2. Three student objects is there, right? But here s1 and s2 are duplicates, right?
Yes.
But it is considering we can able to add duplicate elements also. So how to eliminate the duplicate? I mean, how can we avoid this problem? So how to avoid these duplicate objects without including as part of key? So for that purpose, right? So we have to override two more methods. Why? Because now s1 s2 are both are having same values, but still it is considering as a different values. I mean, as a key. Ultimately, we should not see s1 value. Why? Because it should override with s2. It's clear, right? The issue.
Mhm.
Okay, now how to solve this problem? To solve this problem, we need to override two methods. One is hash code and equals method.
Mm.
First, I will override it and show the results. Then I will explain you how it will eliminate the duplicates. Okay.
Mm.
So to override the two methods, just right click and go to source. So did you see the hash code and equals method?
Mhm.
Just select it and select all the fields, name and age, and click OK. So it will generate some default code. You can ignore about that one for time being. It's no need to. Just we need to understand only one thing. We have to override the hash code and equals method. This is the main point.
How did you do this again?
Uh,
Can you
Right click, source.
get test and set test? Okay.
So sorry, not that this one.
Hash code and equals. Okay.
Then it will generate two methods. These methods. Okay. Now what I will do, I will run this program again and we will see the results. Go back. Now see how many objects is there.
2.
First one is student 3
Mm.
and second one is student 1 and
Mm.
value is s2. Did you see there?
Yes, yes.
So what will happen? S1 we overridden with
Yes, 2.
yes. Now it is perfect, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now if at all if you are trying to add your own objects, your own objects apart from string, so we have to override the hash code and equals method. But string, it is working properly because inside the string class hash code and equals method already overridden.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's what string, it is not, whenever you are adding string as a duplicate key, it is not considering, it is
Got it.
overriding with the existing value. Okay, and now
Okay.
go back to the hash code and equals method. What is the advantage actually? Okay, I will tell you. Let me take out the print. So first, right, this is a map. So inside the map we have
Mm.
element, we have a place to keep the elements. Okay, so first, right, whenever you are adding the student 1 s1 into the hash map,
Mm-hmm.
so it will save hash code into one place. Hash code means, what is the hash code? You know, the memory location of an object.
Got it.
So 100, just assume for student 1 hash code is 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and whenever you are adding to second student object, what it will do, it will compare with the existing student's object hash code. Let's suppose, say for instance, student 2 also having same hash code 100, then it will compare with the existing students.
Okay.
So if both are equal, then it will override. If both hash codes are equal, then it will go for equals method.
Okay.
If equals method also will return true, then it will override with the existing object.
Got it. Okay.
So now s1 will be overridden with s2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Now third element. What is the third element? S3. So suppose for S3 having hash code is 100 and 1010.
Mm-hmm.
So now what it will compare the existing objects hash code.
Right.
So what will happen? It will fail.
Yes.
So 100 and 1010 both are different. So it will add S3.
Got it.
So that is the main advantage of hash code and equals method. Okay. So whenever you want to eliminate the duplicates, you have to override the hash code and equals method.
Got it.
So this is the second example. Okay. Now let me go back another example inside the map.
Okay.
What are the maps we have created? Tree map. Let me create tree map. We'll see the same example. It's clear, right? Hash code and equals method.
Yes.
Tree map demo. So I created another class called tree map. So okay, now what I want to do, I want to copy the same code, whatever we have written. Tree map. Yeah, this is the tree map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a tree map. Let me import it. Okay. So tree map, right? Whenever we are creating the tree map, and what will happen, the elements will be in sorting order.
Mm-hmm.
This one I think we have already saw, right? Let me run it and we will see the results again one more time. So did you see that it's
Mm-hmm.
displaying 77, 89 after that alphanumeric A, B, C.
Got it.
So it's in sorting order. First numbers, after that when it is trying to sort the characters. So basically it is sorting the elements, keys.
Got it.
Okay, now what I want to do, as of now, every time we added key as a string. So
Mm-hmm.
now I want to create my own object like customer. Customer. Okay, so inside the customer there is two fields. One is name and ID. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to assign the value as part of constructor. So I will generate the constructor using these fields.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now constructor is generated, and I want to generate the toString method also.
Mm-hmm.
Just right click, go to generate toString, finish it. Okay, so now toString is ready, and we can able to assign the values. Now what I want to do, I want to create my own student customer object. Customer C1 equal to new customer. So first name I'm giving customer 1, and customer ID I'm giving C100. So first customer object is ready, and second customer and third customer. Okay, second customer and third customer. Okay, let me give second customer ID 101, sorry, 101, 102, 103. Three customers, three
Mm-hmm.
different values, and three different. So now what I want to do, I want to add these values as part of my key.
Okay. So
So what
let's
I
see.
want to add, C1 I want to add here.
Mm-hmm.
Machine got stuck. C1,
C2.
C2, C3. So here I want to add as C1,
Value.
C2.
No. Are we doing
Yeah, tell me.
capital? Were we doing capital C?
This is just for our understanding purpose. Value you can give anything.
Okay. Okay.
This is just only for our understanding purpose.
Okay.
So why? Because which customer object is overriding to see the value, so that we are giving some different value. Okay, now let me run it and we will see the results what you will get. Did you see that there is some exception we are getting?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the main purpose of tree map? What it will do? It will sort the keys, right?
Yes.
So but now it is telling there is some class cast exception.
Mm-hmm.
So what is telling? Comparable. It is telling cannot be cast to java.lang.comparable. So basically what is telling, it is not able to sort the customer elements.
Mm.
It is telling it is not a comparable type. We are not able to compare. It's like maybe initially I told, right, if someone will give you dollars and Indian rupees, which one is more? Then what you will do, either you will convert dollars to rupees or rupees to dollar, then you can say this is more. So you are not able to compare directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now also same thing. So now customer objects is there. Each customer object is a different type. We are not able to compare. And which field and what? So inside the customer we have so many fields, right? Like name, ID is there.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to sort the customer elements. So and there is two fields basically.
If you give the value as simply 101, 102, and 103,
That
instead
is
of
fine. That we can give, but now the problem statement is critical.
Yeah, no. I was asking if we give it like that, will it sort?
It will work. That we have already saw right here.
Yeah.
Either string or integer you will give, it will work, no issue. But now the issue is it's not a string and it is not an integer. It is a customized object.
Mm-hmm.
So in case of customized object, we are not able to sort the elements because inside the customer there is two fields is there. So we need to sort the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So on what basis you want to sort it? Okay. On what basis you want to sort? You want to sort based on name or ID.
Okay.
So that we need to tell, right? Then only we can able to sort the customer.
Okay.
As of now, we are not telling anything. Just we are telling just blindly sort the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not. Tree map now it is not able to sort the customer. Why? Because we are not instructing properly on what basis we need to sort the
Object.
yes customer object. So now for that purpose we need to do some more changes. What is the changes? It must be a comparable type. So what is it? If you see this message, right, customer cannot be cast to java.lang.comparable. So it is not a comparable type. So for that purpose we have to implement one interface called comparable.
Okay.
Okay, this is a interface. Comparable, it's an interface. Inside this interface there is a method called compare. Did you see there? So we have to override that one.
Okay.
So when we are trying to override, right, so we need to modify a little bit. So what is that little bit? I'll tell you. So first, right, what is this compare object? So first I will implement it, then I will explain you. First, it's simple. There is no big logic. Customer C equal to, we need to downcast this object to our customer. Okay, now this dot I want to sort based on name. Hash code hyphen C dot name. Okay, this is the implementation. It's just first object compared to method having one argument called object, and that argument I'm downcasting to customer object. Okay, and in my current object there is two fields, name and age. This dot name, this means the current object. So this dot name compared to C dot name. Okay, so this is the implementation. Now let me run it and we will see the results, and I will explain you later. Now did you see that there is no exception and it's displaying something? Okay, and now let me add this element in different jumbled way. So let me add C3 as the first. So now C3 I added first. After that I will add C2. And we will see whether it's sorting or not. So basically it is in different order, C3, C2, C1, right? So now let me go back and let me run it and we will see the results whether it's sorting or not. Okay, so first we are adding C3, C2, after that C1. So now see there, first what is the first element?
Customer 1.
And next one is
2.
And the last one is
3. So is it sorting according to the customers or according to the customer value?
Yes, that's what I'm telling. Now I want to sort the elements based on customer name. Did you see there? C1 dot name compare with C dot name.
Got it. Okay.
So let's suppose if you want to sort based on ID. Just we need to mark here ID.
Okay.
Now it will sort based on ID. Now let me run it. Now the first, what is the ID? 101,
102, 103.
102, 100. If you want just for testing purpose, I can give some different value. So for customer 1, I will give 88, 77, 9. So first should come 9, 76, 89. So now let me run it and we will see the customer elements. So first one is, what is this? 76, 76, 89, 9. It is in ascending order, descending order. Let me run it. Yeah, now it is going. The class was not compiled previously. See there now?
No, right?
No. First one is
The customer 3 should come first with ID of 9.
Oh, sorry. I supposed to modify value here. No, let me change it. Yeah. So this is the original object. Now, so this is the ID. This dot ID compared to this dot ID. Okay. Now I'm considering this as a string. Instead of string, I have to take that one as an integer. Okay, let me change it in different way. So now ID, right? Let me give this ID means string means I need to give string. I should not give numbers. So then only. So let me give K. Let me give P. Let me give some R. Some jumbled value I'm giving basically. F. So now ID is F, P, R, right? Some random numbers. Okay, now let me run it and we'll see it. So now what is the first one? F and P and R. Now it is in sorting order, right? If you want, I can give this one as a some X. Now let me run it and we'll see the results. So now first one is P, R, X. Now it is in sorting order, right?
Yes, yes.
String means you have to give string, so we should not give number.
Okay.
So that why? Because we declared this as a string, right?
Got
so
it.
you have to give string, then you will get proper results. So now it is displaying in ascending order, right?
So if what if we give it, earlier we had it C101.
Yeah, that also it will sort. It's no issue. Let me sort it. So now it is in C103, right? Let me make it this one as a 900. Let me make this one as a 800. Let me give it as a 12. Now let me see how it will work out. Now C12. After that 183. After that 901.
Got it. Okay. Now it's working.
Okay, now it is fine, right? So this is the main purpose of comparable interface.
Got it.
So whenever you are adding key as a customer object, like a customized object as part of unique, so that time you have to override the hash code and equals method. And whenever you are trying to sort the customized object, then we have to override the comparable interface and we have to override the compare to method.
Got it.
So this is the advantage of comparable interface. Okay, now what happened, now it is sorting the elements in a ascending order, right? So now if you want to sort in descending order, you have to keep here minus. Just did you see there? Now I want to sort the elements in descending order. See, now 901 first.
Okay.
So just keep minus, so it will be considered as a reverse order. By default, ascending order, if you keep minus, it will be sort in a descending order.
Got it.
Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
now the second problem is, this is clear, right?
Yes.
Duplicates and sorting customized objects.
Yes.
Okay, now the next problem is, let me add another package. Com dot sort demo. Sort demo. Okay, just I'm trying to create another package called com.sort demo, and class name is compare demo. Finish it. So we will get more questions
Mm-hmm.
on these topics. How you are going to eliminate duplicates, how you are going to sort 10 elements, what is,
Okay.
so you have to explain these interfaces, these methods, and hash code and equals method,
Got it.
and that hash code, when the hash code will be called, when the equals method will be called. And by the way, that hash code and equals method is part of object class, so
Okay.
we have overridden that methods. That is one more point. Okay, now the next point is, let's suppose, say for instance, I want to create same student object again. Let me copy the student. Where is it created? Yes, here, right? Tree map. So this is the student object. Customer object. So I will use same customer object. Okay. Now this is a simple customer object, and now I want to add, I want to create 10 customer objects, and I want to add these 10 customer objects into a list.
Mm.
So let me create it, copy. Okay, now I created customer object, and I have also I created the some three different object with three different values.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I want to add these elements into a list.
Mm.
So I created array list object. Let me import it. This is simple, right? So now what I want to do, I want to add this list of elements to the list of objects to my array list. C1 I added, C2 I added, C3 I added. Okay, now I want to display these elements. Let me display. So first 901 C2, it's not displaying any order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever order you are adding, it is displaying in the same order. Customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3. Last is customer 3. So now what I want to do, I want this list of elements should be displayed in a sorting order.
Oh.
So how to sort it? I don't want in ascending order. I want this element should be sorted based on customer name.
Okay.
So how to sort it? Okay, for that purpose, what we have to do, there is a class called collections.
Oh, okay.
So just collections dot, there is a method called sort.
Mm.
So we have to pass the list,
Okay.
then display the list of elements. So whenever, so this is the collections is a class interface. It's not a class basically, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We are not able to see it's an interface, and inside that there is a method called sort.
Mm.
So for this one we have to pass our list. So
Okay.
what it will do, it will sort the elements. Whatever you are passing the list, it will sort the elements and it will give back the sorted list.
Got it.
Okay, and before passing the list, right? So whatever the elements you are adding, it must be a comparable type.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not able to sort, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we need to tell, you need to sort this customer elements based on the ID or name.
Mm-hmm.
So now now display the elements. Now let me run it and we will see the elements. Now see the first 901, after that 183 and C12. It displaying descending order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why? Because it displaying descending order, we have overridden the compare method with minus.
Yes.
So that's what it is displaying in a reverse order. If you remove the minus, then it will display in
Correct.
so ascending order. C12, 183 and 900. Last one is
Yes.
the
Yes.
next one.
So the first display is a first this sys dot out println list.
Correct, line number 21.
Okay.
So that time we have not sorted, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's all. After that, we at line number 23 we sorted. At line number 25 we are displaying sorted list.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I
And
want to do,
if we had to sort among numbers, all we had to do is change the string to
integer. Yes, I'll give different example for that one.
okay.
Okay. Now so far, right? This is a customer object,
Mhm.
and sometime I want to sort with name, and sometime I want to sort with ID. So that time every time I have to modify this logic, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to modify this logic. I want to create some other class. So based on the inputs, it should sort.
Got it.
I don't want to modify the code again and again. So that purpose, so there is another interface. So let me write another class. Hmm. Okay, let me write another class. This is compare to demo. It's a class name I had given compare to demo. Okay, now what I will do, close others. The previous example is clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah. These are very important. If you go for interview, they will ask a lot of questions just only on this. What is compare? What is hash code and equals method? How we are going to sort? There is another interface I will tell you now. So now let me copy. This is the same customer I will use. I will change a little bit so that it will make to understand very easily. And let me copy the same code. Okay, it is clear, and I'm trying to create customer object. Okay, let me give, instead of customer I will give to student. Why? Because customer object already is there, right? So student, and let me replace everywhere customer with student.
Okay.
Replace. Okay, instead of customer I'm taking student. Why? Because customer object is already there in the same package.
Okay.
So I don't, it's not allowing me to create. So instead of customer I'm taking student. Okay, so inside the student name is there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give as a marks id, int id. So instead of name I had given integer id.
Okay.
So now it is clear. Okay, now I will remove everything whatever I did previously, comparable, all those things. So I removed everything. So plain student object constructor is there,
Mm-hmm.
and toString method is there. Okay, so this is the student one. Let me give name as a std1, std2, std3, and here I need to pass the integer, right?
Mm-hmm.
35, and let me give as a 67, and let me give it is as a 10.
Okay.
So it's in some
Random.
jumbled number, some random numbers I want to generate it. Now let me sort it and let me see. It is either when I'm trying to sort, right, what it's telling
Class cast exception.
cannot be comparable. Why? Because we are not telling, right, on which and what field base we have to sort. We are not giving any instruction.
We need to implement the comparable.
Correct. So that's what it is failing. We are not able to sort it. So for that purpose, now I want to sort sometime based on name, sometime based on age, right? Correct. So
Yeah.
for that purpose, what I want to do, I want to create another class called student student underscore id compare. So I created a different class called student id compare.
Oh, okay.
Okay, different class.
Why don't we implement comparable in the other one?
Yeah, just we should not use comparable. I will tell you. I want to introduce some different interface.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now implements comparator.
Okay.
So this is a different interface,
Okay.
and this is a different interface, and it is available in java.util.package. Both comparator. Previously we saw compare. We go back to it is comparable. So inside the comparable interface, we have a method called compare2, and which is having one argument.
Got it.
And it is also there in same package, java.util package.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to introduce you a different interface called comparator.
Okay.
So this is also there in same package, java.util package, and inside this interface we have a method called compare,
Okay.
and it is having two arguments, object 1 comma object 2. Okay, it is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, now in previous example what I did, I downcasted, right, customer, right? So here also we have to do the same object. Instead of customer we have to downcast to student object. So I will tell you what is the advantage of creating this class. Just downcast to student, consider this one as a S1. And we are taking argument 1 as a student 1, argument 0 as a student 1, argument 1 as a student 2, two students. Okay, now here is the logic. So now I want to sort the students based on ID.
Got it.
Okay, S1 dot ID minus S2 dot ID. Okay, now go to here. So right now here what we are passing list, right? Directly we are passing list. Now we have to pass new student
ID
compare object, and let me run it and we will see the results. See the second one, first what is displaying 10, after that 34, after that
567. Okay.
so it is in sorting order, right? Okay, now after that I want to sort the element based on age, sorry, name. So for that purpose I have to create another class. So I will give here name comparator. Okay, so here instead of ID what I have to change here? Name. S1 dot name dot compare to S2 dot name. That's all. There is no change. So now
if we need to compare multiple ones,
multiple classes we have to write.
No. What I was asking was, okay. So it will compare only S1 and S2 names, right? Not S3.
No, here you can add n number of students. You can add 1,000 students also, doesn't matter. Here, right, I will tell you how it will work. Why I taken only.
I understand. I think you'll compare the first two and then sort, then 2 and 3 and then sort. Is it like that?
No, I will tell you. Let me write a code for S3. So now let me give some string here. ID sort. Okay, then it will display ID sort. Now let me sort this by using name. Okay. So first I don't want to display these elements. I will display ID sort elements and then name sort elements. I'll tell you how it will work. Why I have taken only S1 and S2. Why I have not taken S1, S3. Okay, let me run it. Okay, first see the students with ID sort. So ID is 10, 34, 517. It is good, right? Yeah. Now student 1, student 2, and student 3. It is sorting based on name.
Okay.
It is clear, right? So now go back to our implementation. See here, right? So first time whenever we are adding the elements, all the elements we are adding to the list, right? So after that we are calling sort method.
Okay.
And inside the sort method we are passing the list. Okay.
Yes.
Along with the list we are passing the some object. So inside this object, what is the parameter of sorting element basically? Sometime name and sometime
ID.
ID. Okay. So that so far it's clear, right?
Yes.
Now, okay. First consider first student 1 is there, and student 2 is there, and student 3 is there inside the list. Okay. So first time when we're adding the elements, it is like this: S1, S2, S3. Okay. Whenever you are calling the sort method, right? So what it will do, the sort method will look for the sorting field from the object.
Okay.
So in sorting field, what is the object here? Sometime name, sometime you name you are passing, sometime you are passing ID 2 times.
Okay.
So that time what it will consider first it will look for the first object name.
Okay.
And it will compare with this name with S2 and with S3.
Okay.
So which is the ascending order based on that. If it is the lowest care, and then it will keep here. Let's suppose if S2 is the lowest one, it will move here. If S3 is move here, it will move here.
Got it.
And again it will compare with the S2 with rest of the elements.
Got it.
So every time we need to take one element and we need to compare with another, one with another. So one with others, right? Like this or like this, like this. So that's what I'm taking S1 and S2.
Okay.
And we are comparing and we are changing the locations.
Yes.
So this is a algorithm basically.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So you're comparing two what is it? Two
locations. Two locations, I can say.
Two locations adjacent to each other, and then sort it, and then
exchanging the elements.
Right?
Yes, exchanging the element based on the what is it, ID or name or whatever.
Okay.
So then it will be displayed in a sorting order, and finally you will get a sorting list.
Got it. So two locations at a time. You will
yes, that's all. We can able to compare two at a time, right? Yes. So this is so the main question here is, as part of interview point of view, they will ask what is the difference between compare and comparable.
Okay.
So you need to tell the interface methods, how many elements is there and how many arguments is there, and what is the difference. So as part of comparable, we are implementing directly as part of the customer class.
Yes.
We are modifying the customer object, but here we are not at all touching
the object.
That is the main difference. These are the main two differences.
Okay.
This is very important question in interview basically.
Okay.
And they will ask when it will be called, compare, and so when it will call, basically how it will call and what is the order. You need to explain this diagram.
Okay.
How the sorting will happen.
Okay.
This is clear, right?
Yes, this is clear.
Yeah, this is about collections. Main is that hash map. They will ask hash map, tree map, and set differences, key, duplicates, sortings, how you are sorting key, how you will eliminate duplicate key.
Okay.
They will ask, so you have to understand that if you tell these diagrams are pictorial representation, they will not ask much questions.
Good.
Okay, this is clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and tomorrow we will see some other topic. Today I have some doctor appointment, so I'm going early.
Okay. Sure.
Tomorrow we will see some other topic, maybe some threads, I guess. Threads or some cloning. Anyone I will decide and we will start something.
Okay.
Threading or
Core Java is almost over.
sorry?
Core Java is almost there because I mean thread is normally like almost like the final section, right?
Yeah, threads and cloning and JVM I explained you, right?
Yes.
JVM threads, cloning, and there are some other features like JDK8 and JDK5 features, generics, annotations that will take some one day.
Oh, okay. So by the end of this week, most likely Core Java will be over.
Yeah, might be, yes, maybe
Oh,
max some 7 days.
oh okay, okay. Mm.
And after that, I will start this advanced like servlets and JSP.
Okay, okay, sure, sure.
So you will be joining for servlets and JSP.
Yes, yes, I will do.
And another question: when you were moving to US, you said no, you
It's
have.
not decided yet. That is the problem.
Why? Because why I'm asking. There
So
is another.
yeah, I'm waiting for some paperwork to come from
Okay.
the immigration department in the US to the uh,
Okay.
Mumbai embassy.
So when you can expect that one?
Uh, that is the problem.
Oh,
They
that
say
you don't have any idea.
take up to 90 days, so it
Mm,
can come sooner or it can come later.
why I'm asking, there is another candidate. He's also from US,
Uh-huh.
so he will be joining from morning time.
Uh-huh.
Maybe not. Maybe next week, not this week. Just so that I can combine both of you guys for US time, early morning. Early morning means same
Okay.
7 or 7:30 or 8, same time only. I will not change. Just
Okay.
US time only. Just I want to confirm.
Only problem with me is, I mean, once my date,
Uh,
I'll come to know. I mean, I'll have only 3 weeks time.
yeah, that's what I want to know. When you will move, based on that, we will plan. Once you move to
Yeah.
US, right? Then again, you want some different time, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I'll be on a project then and then.
That's what I'm asking before only. What time
Yeah.
you need?
I mean, as of now, I myself is not sure.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, at least we have one more week, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That after
That is
that we will see that timing and all.
yeah.
Once if
Okay.
you move, then only I want to change your time as per your
Yeah, yeah. As of now, I could be available in August.
till August. You will be there, right?
Yes, as of now.
Okay,
Mhm.
then fine, no problem. Then
Yeah.
maybe we will continue with the same time.
Okay,
If we
okay.
are in India, we will continue with same time, no problem. If you go for US, then
Yeah.
we will think.
Either way, I will let you know. No, if there is any update, I will let you know. So far, they haven't notified anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, then fine, no issue. Then we will continue with same time.
Okay, okay, sure.
Okay, then we will meet tomorrow same time.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, fine.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks.